We're back.
Back with another episode of Golden Witch Academia.
I still need to finish watching that.
Wait, you started?
I watched the first 2 episodes, I think.
Excellent.
And it was very, very good. And then I didn't continue watching it because I got distracted by other things. But it's very wholesome. I love it.
It's extremely excellent.
What's up, George? What can't you believe?
I can't believe it.
Really? You want to elaborate on that? Or?
No.
All right.
Are you saying that's the truth?
Yeah, it looks like all Tetris pieces at once.
That's Lovecraftian. Yes. We've told you everything as we saw it.
George folded his arms and started mumbling again. And the kitchen was once again wrapped in a long silence. George-son, I'm fully aware of how hard it must be for you to believe all that so suddenly. After all, even though I saw it with my own eyes, I grow less and less sure of what it was I actually saw. I'm sure I saw it. And I'm sure I got into a fight, too. It was really cool. And yet I almost feel like it was an illusion.
I see. So that's why you couldn't go into the details in front of Aunt Rosa. If you actually told her what you've just told me, you'd probably be in even more trouble.
Didn't the clock skip ahead pretty far after the end of the last?
Yeah, it skipped quite far ahead.
Why does it look like they're just having this conversation right after leaving the rest?
I don't know. Yeah, Genji-san really did handle that one composedly, didn't he? Is that a word, composedly?
Yeah, I don't see why not. It's a valid construction, at least.
Yeah, but lots of things are. And they're all words.
Yep, every
QED.
single one of them. If only I had the power to explain it myself. I'm surprised he doesn't. He believes in Beato, right?
Probably. I imagine the difficulty is more in explaining it to others. That was the main thing. What can they say to Aunt Rosa that she will believe and that will get her off their backs? And the answer is there is no explanation of this that makes them seem less suspicious.
God damn it, Beato. George had not actually seen it, and even when pressed to believe, he just couldn't imagine it. It was only natural. Because even the people who had actually seen it, given up asking themselves what it was.
Let's rewind the story a bit.
Let's rewind the tape. It's taking it back.
Shannon, you said that when you thought Cannon-kun was an imposter, you picked up some spider webs and came back, right? Why did you do that?
That's right, I was thinking about that as well. Why the spider webs?
I happened to hear it from Kumasawa-san once.
Oh, that's me. I'm dead now. Ooh. Mighty painful. I didn't have time to experience the pain at the moment, but now that I've got eternity. Ooh.
Oh, being a ghost is the worst. A long time ago, evil spirits lived on Rokkenjima, and they feared spider webs. And they say there's a legend that people treasured spider webs as amulets. And right at that moment, I think I was also a bit confused.
See, Shannon in particular knows about Beato, and we've seen firsthand that she's willing to meet Beato on her level. Still think she has a D sword. When it comes to those old stories, Kumasawa was very knowledgeable. I apologize, my voices aren't quite on par today. My throat is a little bit sore.
Well, spiders are very useful bugs after all.
Tell me more about spiders, George.
Yes, it wouldn't be at all strange for a belief system like that to come into being. If you like, I can email you one. Wait, that hasn't been invented yet. You'll have to email it back.
Wow. What is that? A David Thorne? Is that his name? Is that what you're referencing?
I think so.
That's some vintage meme right there. That's impressive. I didn't know they made memes from that year still.
I'm sure that the Torii shrine was suppressing the power of those evil spirits.
Next, you want to talk about, like, all your base? And will it blend? And I've got this really cool image to show you of a little cat with a pop chart on it. Oh, here's one you'll like. It's a video about Charlie the unicorn. You'll love it. Oh man, what about? Have you heard about this guy? His name is Homestar Runner, but it's not a baseball thing. Though there is a coach.
Are we good?
And a luchador.
We good?
Sorry, just you went so far back for that reference, and now I'm like, I'm kind of stuck mentally.
And because the spirit mirror was broken, that power came back.
One more. Tune.
Okay, I'll allow it.
All right, that's it. We're done now.
That power must be what allowed Beatrice-sama to revive. If I, weak-hearted as I am, hadn't done such an outrageous thing.
Oh, she went all the way back to the fucking mirror. She was telling them everything starting from the... Oh, okay. Including how that means that she got together with George. Oh. She revealed the whole trick to George.
Did she?
She went back and talked about smashing the mirror.
Did she, though? Do we know if she said that before this point?
And because the spirit mirror was broken, that power came back. She's talking about her culpability in this. Yeah.
Yes, now. But has she explained it all before this point?
I am assuming so. That this is kind of like the wrap-up.
Ah.
Thank you.
Shannon, you don't have to worry about that anymore. I don't blame you for it.
I mean, I'd want to fuck me too, if I'm honest.
I love breaking mirrors. I do it all the time. Okay, so she has explained.
Since long ago, Shannon had often suggested that there was some kind of occult cause for her meeting with George. After listening to her, George had grown to think that she was being a typical girl, associating love with fate, chance, and miracles. He did think that smashing the spirit mirror offered the Torii shrine was taking it a bit far, but he laughed it off and forgiven her, thinking of it as just a prank that showed how serious she was about her relationship with him. Just breaking a mirror in some musty shrine shouldn't have changed the fate of our meeting. It would never cause any curse. He tried to cheer her up, saying it was only a musty mirror covered in dust.
Ever since I started working on this island, I've heard the story of a spirit called Beatrice-sama from several co-workers. I'm not naming names, but you know who you are.
Or rather, you don't anymore.
Well,
you did.
You did. At one point, you knew who you were. In the beginning, I thought it was ridiculous, but since it would appear indiscreet to say anything out loud, outwardly I conducted myself as though I also believed it. But could it really?
She existed.
See, she's saying it without the quote marks now.
Beatrice-sama was in this mansion all along. But she'd lost her powers and wasn't able to appear before us. She did exist all this time.
I'm still not picking up on the subtleties between exist and air quotes exist.
It's just that we couldn't see her.
Like I get kind of vaguely what they're getting at, but I'm having trouble putting it into words, you know?
Without love, it cannot be seen. I'd like to hear Genji-san's opinion.
No, you don't. I have no opinion. My voice is also slightly higher than it usually is because my throat won't go that far down right now. All I want to say is that at the time there were 5 of us in this room. Then I thought that Cannon had returned through the back door. After that we carried him to the servant room. Something happened. Now Dr. Nanjo and Kumasawa will never come back to us. No, I mean just wait till the next go round. Oh, you don't know about that yet? Oh, sorry, spoilers. That is all. We have already explained everything we saw. I understand how unreasonable it would be to try and force belief from one who didn't witness those events, such as yourself.
How could he believe it? I was sure it was Kanan-san. But it got up from the bed, and that's right, it started To grow up in that wound in its chest in that manner, felt sure it wasn't Kanen-san but something else. Ah! I doubt you'll be able to understand, George-sama. I'm very worried now. The terror that moment when the person I thought I knew well exposed that it was in fact someone else entirely. Ah! I can't explain. Can't explain it at all.
I understand.
Ah, do you? I did a very poor job of explaining it.
That's okay.
Okay.
I love bad explanations. I can tell that whatever happened, it was terrifying enough to give you such a shock.
Thank you very much, George-sama.
And they all fell silent again. Shannon kept crying no matter how many times she was consoled, thinking that listening to the witch's sweet whispers and breaking the spirit mirror on that day had been the mistake that ruined everything. No, it's okay, Shannon. For some reason, I think we should be blaming Battler.
The witch who whispered these things to you loses her powers if that mirror exists, right? I think she explained it to me a little, but I don't really remember. I think she said something about how she couldn't release her power as long as that mirror existed.
Release!
Exactly.
Okay.
What happened to this mirror that you broke? I don't remember. I left it behind when I broke it, so it's probably just how I left it. So, when, as they say, the reef was struck by lightning and disappeared, it must have sank to the bottom of the ocean. Well, I doubt picking it up and taping it together would make it start working again.
Why don't you give it a shot, George?
What have I done? Sorry. I shouldn't have said that.
He didn't know if Shannon breaking the mirror really had started all this off. Though the servants didn't blame Shannon, they all seemed to believe that her actions had been the root cause. But even now, George wasn't able to go that far. All this talk about witches and evil spirits just sounded fake to him, even though he was trying to be open-minded. Even so, he listened seriously to Shannon's story, trying to find a hint that might relieve at least a little of the pain in her heart.
Come to think of it, that was surely different from the one in the Torii. I've heard that Madame keeps a spirit mirror as a charm.
Really? Aunt Natsuhi?
Yes. I believe she received it as a memento from her grandfather or something, and that it functioned as a powerful ward against magic. A spirit mirror of high pedigree, I think.
I have also heard the same story, in a slightly higher-pitched voice than I usually have. Something about the mirror having the power to reflect that which is not good and send it back. Excellent! I've been practicing my shine cancels for this.
If we had that spirit mirror, could we resist Beatrice since she's a witch? Huh?
When George proposed this, the servants looked up.
The shrine and the torii where it was kept are gone now, but the important thing is that there's still another spirit mirror. Spirer?
I just leave it as spirit mirror. I get where you're going with this, but it doesn't quite sound right.
Wait. Mirror it.
Nope, not working.
I'll get back to you on that. I've heard that Aunt Natsuhi's family is descended from Shinto priests. Maybe that isn't just a simple mirror.
Oh, this track. I found this track on iTunes the other day, and I'm so glad I did. I love this.
I'm sure I heard Madame say she keeps it in a treasure box. It might not be very large.
I don't think its size is a problem. Even the mirror I broke was just a small, insignificant looking thing. I also have George's voice, all of a sudden.
Oh, that's
It's spreading.
That's amazing. How did you do that?
If our opponent is occult, then we'll have to use the occult to fight back. Sitting around here won't solve anything. It's worth trying, if only for some peace of mind.
Of course, this didn't mean George had accepted the witch. However, he thought it'd be necessary to have some kind of purification ceremony to heal the wounds in Shannon's heart.
Purification.
So this story about
Purification. Nature's beauty!
This story about Natsuhi's spirit mirror was really convenient. God damn it. I'm annoyed that Konosuba is as actually funny as it is. Like, I would prefer it so much more if I could just dismiss that show out of hand, but like, no, it's actually funny. God damn it.
Let's go. I won't say anything crazy, like let's go get it and finish off the witch. Those words definitely will not have left my mouth in the previous sentence. However, I think it'd be useful to have some sort of charm that can protect us from her. Maria-chan told me about it earlier, but the door to grandfather's room was supposed to be able to repel magic, right? That's our grandfather for you. It means he was pretty good on defense when it comes to the occult. Let's go. To Aunt Natsuhi's room.
But I think Madam's room is locked. We returned the master keys to Rosa-sama. And even the key box in the servant room is now locked away.
In that case, let's go raid some bodies. Aunt Natsuhi should have had a key on her person. Has anyone seen Aunt Natsuhi's person? Aunt Natsuhi's corpse should still be in the chapel. We probably shouldn't be disturbing it before the police come, but we can give a full explanation later.
However, the entrance to the chapel is also locked.
Ha ha ha, Goda-san. Can't you break a single glass window with your physical strength? You could smash it with a nearby rock. Would it, really be okay to break the window of that important chapel?
The bodies aren't going to be there anymore, are they? Damn it.
Who knows?
Damn it.
Also, I wonder what Kinzo's up to.
Honestly, it seemed like this time he was just good about, like, hungry. He's probably up there, like, reading a book.
Or not
He's
there
like,
at all and dead.
Finally got to volume 27.
That's what we thought last time.
Yeah.
And
No, but last time he also made the thing of leaving his room. In this time, though, he made a point of being like, no, that'd be a foolish thing to do. I'm staying put.
Mhm.
And no one's been able to get him out. So, presumably, he's up there finally getting to, like, volume 200 of Berserk or whatever.
When grandfather gets mad at us, I'll take responsibility. From the beginning, I've been ready to fight the whole Ushiromiya family today. Sadly, I'll no longer get that chance since most of them are dead, but I'll fight the rest of them.
Don't worry, I believe there is a fighting game spin-off.
Excellent. I've got to get them to accept my engagement to you. So, I've been prepared from the start. Let's break the glass. Then, let's borrow the key from Aunt Natsuhi's corpse.
George's announcement that he'd take responsibility seemed to have given the servants a great deal of courage. Shannon and Goda looked at each other, then looked at George's face again. Hey! What's the deal with airline food?
Grandfather knows everything about the occult. I'm sure he'll understand if it's the power of Aunt Natsuhi's spirit mirror we're talking about. Don't worry, he won't get mad at you. I wonder if Madame's mirror will really be able to seal Beatrice-sama once again.
I was gonna say, she said that there's no other way to resist her, but she would say that.
Yeah?
If there was another way. Huh.
I don't know, but I think it's worth trying. So let's go. It's getting darker and darker outside, quickly. Shannon, get a flashlight. Goda-san, find something that looks like it can break the glass. Sorry, Genji, but can you be on umbrella duty?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
The servants, who had been rejected by Rosa, gained a new master and started to move. George, who was normally calm and gentle, was now radiating dignity. And then Beato's just waiting there and, like, one-shots. Shannon checked the emergency flashlight, just in case she changed the batteries. Goda was testing several heavy-looking cooking tools. Normally a highly praised chef like him wouldn't want to use them for something other than their intended purpose, but now he was frantic to fulfill the orders of the one he accepted as his master. For some worrying, he took a large, thick-feeling frying pan.
Hell yeah, I can't wait for some frying pan versus lightsaber combat.
Wait. Now his frying pan
is
a drying pan.
Hey.
Hey! Genji removed several umbrellas from the umbrella stand and in the corner near the kitchen door. He took 3 of them.
Genji-san?
I can only hold 3 at once. I cannot go with you. It would be embarrassing for me as the head servant of the Ushiromiya family. We were all gone when an order is given.
But Genji-san, even you must understand how dangerous it is to be alone in this mansion now.
I cannot go. I must remain here, so the master can call for me at any time.
Genji-sama.
Go and obey George-sama. Be careful not to make any blunders. Goda, I'm counting on you to set an example.
Yes, and leave it to me.
I will surely fulfill my duty.
It's so weird to see them with a game plan.
Yeah.
Like, damn.
Progress.
Yeah.
Maybe by chapter 6 or 7, some of the plans will start working. You're sure about this, right, Genji-san?
Yes. I am already at this age. All the days of my life until now have been spent repaying the debt I owe the master. The roulette will decide the fate of a senile old man like myself. I will sit here and see what the result will be with my own eyes.
What debt I would?
As Genji said that, he sat down. As though saying he didn't intend to discuss this anymore, his gaze fell to the chessboard that he'd played Nanjo on. When George saw this, he decided to leave Genji there.
Let's go, everyone. It looks like the wind has died down a bit for now.
When George took an umbrella and dashed down the hallway, Shannon and Goda chased after him, each holding a tool. I'm super curious now. After they flew out of the room, Genji quietly stretched his hand out to the side of the chessboard. He softly pulled something there towards himself, covering it with his palm. Genji killed his breathing even more than before. As he did, something flashed gold. From inside an ice pail set on the counter, a small gold butterfly appeared, softly and silently. It was almost as though it had seen George and the rest off and was trying to secretly chase after them.
And Genji stayed behind
Genji
to duel Beato.
Genji knew! Oh! It happened in an instant. The elegant gold butterfly, flapping its wings, was pinned against the wall by the knife Genji threw, just like a butterfly in a bug collection. After the gold butterfly beat its wings several times, looking like it was in pain, it accepted the fact that it couldn't break free, came fine gold powder and smoke, and disappeared as though it had melted into water. Genji still gazed down at the chessboard as though nothing had happened. Maybe he would think up a brilliant move very soon. But no matter what move he made, his opponent would not be able to respond for all eternity. Even though he knew that, Genji searched for a brilliant move. It must have been the perfect way to kill time during the short period before some fate would be given to him. He didn't know what result the roulette would bring about, but that decision would be made very soon. No one could interfere with the tumbling roulette ball. Nice try, Beato. Beato is weak to knives. The door to the parlor was not only locked, but blocked with a barricade made of sofas and the like. Because of that, Aunt Rosa seemed to suspect that any suspicious person approaching would break in through the window. Sitting on a one-person sofa, her back to the door, she continued to hold on to her gun. I didn't know what was what anymore, and even though my body and mind were worn out, I played with Maria as she wanted. Maria had said it. Beatrice was testing us to see if we could solve the epitaph of the gold. So we had to try to figure out this riddle. In the beginning, I was a little interested and tried to solve it, but didn't even have a clue where to start in this weird text. I didn't doubt there was some riddle hidden there, but I seriously doubted I'd be able to suddenly leap to an answer. In the middle part of the epitaph, we see the lines going from the 1st to the 10th twilight, telling us to journey to the Golden Land. On the 1st twilight, offer the 6 chosen by the key as sacrifices. On the 2nd twilight, those who remain shall tear apart the 2 who are close. It was obvious that this hinted at the first 6 murders that had already occurred in the chapel, and Jessica and Kanekune's murders. If this was being followed, we still had to be prepared for 5 more people to be killed. On the 4th twilight, gouge the head and kill. On the 5th twilight, gouge the chest and kill. On the 6th twilight, gouge the stomach and kill. On the 7th twilight, gouge the knee and kill. On the 8th twilight, gouge the leg and kill. Dr. Nanjo and Kumasawa-ba-chan's corpses still haven't been found. However, if this follows the pattern and their sacrifices for the 4th and 5th twilights, they'll surely be found in a pitiful state with their head and chest gouged. So can we expect the 3 more of us will be gouged at the stomach, knee, and leg and killed? Who will it be? I looked around the room, noticing that there were 3 people here, but how could I put it? My emotions seemed paralyzed. Strangely, I didn't feel frightened. I leaned against the sofa with the top part of my body, gazing up at the ceiling. Maria noticed. Apparently, she felt I was slacking off in my riddle solving. She got mad at me for not taking this seriously enough. Hey, Maria. What was it again that Beatrice said she'd do if we solved this? I'm sure the witch wrote in her letter that she'd give up on collecting interest or something abstract like that. I had optimistically took that to mean she'd give up on killing the whole family, but was it really written with that meaning? For some reason, I couldn't convince myself that solving the riddle would really save me. I feel like maybe, even if we do solve it, we'll just be doing what the culprit wants, and it'll all be a wasted effort. I was thinking in the back of my head, does Beto know the solution to the riddle, or is she just trying to get people to do it for her? But she's a witch. She wouldn't really need that. She's a witch. She doesn't need that gold back. That's not true. You solved the epitaph Beto ceremony. What? So after that, no more. Oh, that's Maria. Sorry, it looked like battle for a moment.
It's okay, it happens.
Isn't that true? If you saw the epitaph, Beto ceremony will end. After that, no more people will die. Really? Isn't that rule just something she made up? Whoever solves this riddle will probably learn the location of grandfather's hidden gold. Then she'll definitely go after it, and... Ew, she won't go after it. How can you be so sure? Gold's been Beatrice's form from the beginning. She wouldn't go after something that's hers. Does it have something to do with the fact that she's made of golden butterflies? Is the gold her? Is she the gold?
This witch is all the way down.
Oh no! Then why is Beatrice giving us all these big hints? Not just that, why did she even set up this game-like thing? Risk is essential for magic. Risk, huh? I don't really know what you mean. For example, in a marathon, do you think a medal anyone can get by running the whole thing is worth the same as a medal given only to the person who gets first? No, I don't. So what does this mean? In the end, she's just playing with us? Purposefully giving us a chance? Wrong! That's how magic works. No matter how great a work of magic is, it'll always have risks and weak points. No, it must have them. I don't get this stuff you call magic, but if I think about it as a gamble, I can understand it a little bit. If you aren't prepared to lose big, then you can't win big. The slimmer of chances of winning, the bigger the payoff. That's right. Kakagurui myself.
Indeed.
And Beato really did explain the risk of the ceremony to everyone, so if this riddle is solved, the ceremony will be suspended. After all, if she breaks her promises, there wouldn't be any risk. If we solve this, will she really keep our promise? Why are flowers beautiful even though they are withered? Why is it that an artificial flower isn't beautiful no matter how elaborate it is, even when you can't tell the difference by looking? Humans can bring about miracles by gambling on their deaths. If an undying human existed, they'd have no way of bringing about a miracle. That goes for us. Life, the wish, and the ceremony, too. If we don't bear risk, we can't succeed in anything. I went a very long time, so I just gotta get...
Just gotta get the oohs out real quick.
It was building up for a while there. What do we do if we solve the riddle? Should we raise a hand and cry, I got it! Tell the witch our answer and see what she says? See what she says? Ew, I don't know about that. But if we solve it, the ceremony will surely end automatically.
She sells 7 steaks by the seashore.
There you go. You sure know a lot, Maria. Did you learn all that from Beatrice? Ew. So if you don't bear a risk, nothing can be gained, is that it? That is definitely the way of the world, but sort of in conflict with the chessboard thinking I like so much. At least when making moves in chess, players grope for the best move, always trying to avoid risk and hoping for an advantageous turn of events. They don't trust to chance like in gambling. That's right, there's no room for gambling in an intellectual game. And if this person called Beatrice created such an outrageous crime, or maybe a ceremony, while purposely imposing conditions for her own loss and announcing them to us, In chess, you always play your best move. So by putting yourself in an opponent's position, you can predict their next move. However, we can't be sure that Beatrice's moves are always the best moves possible. She could be doing the bomb cloud. I thought she was probably making us focus on the epitaph to fool us in some way, speaking in riddles. But according to Maria, that alone was impossible. She said this was a genuine risk that the witch had taken, and therefore proof that this was a formal ceremony for magic. I can't understand this witch called Beatrice. She's committing this chain of murders with some goal in mind. Why does she go to all the trouble of exposing the conditions for her defeat? No matter how I spin the chessboard around and think from my opponent's perspective, I can't understand why she'd give up if this riddle is solved. It's almost as though Beatrice doesn't care whether she wins or loses. Of course, chessboard reasoning won't work against an opponent like that. I don't understand. What is it Beatrice after that's making her carry out this crime? She just wanted to massacre us all. She could have done it quietly without this whole crazy setup.
That wouldn't have been as fun.
You stop now. I'm monologuing. There was no need for that kind-hearted advance notice, and all the self-aware closed room stuff or any of the rest. It's all overacting. Got no clue what it means. Will I be unable to understand everything? As long as I keep thinking of Beatrice as a greedy human culprit? If I don't accept her as a witch, will my chessboard thinking be stuck before I've even lined up the pieces? If she really is a witch, and everything Maria said is true, there's only one thing for us to do. The theory building and discord and searching for the culprit has all been pointless. We should have all gathered in the dining hall, combining our knowledge to solve the riddle. By combining the knowledge of that many people, we might have been able to grasp at least a thread of the answer. The greedy humans, each desiring to gain something over their opponents, were getting offered up as sacrifices one by one, without gathering their knowledge together. In the end, did the humans get what they deserved? They thought they were using their brains, but they were actually thinking of their greedy selves. In the end, chessboard theory is a thinking technique where you project yourself on your opponent. So greedy people see their greedy selves inside their opponents. I looked lazily at Aunt Rosa. She was probably tired from being under all this tension all the time. She couldn't sleep, but she kept staring vaguely at some point off in space. Aunt Rosa had announced that we couldn't trust anyone who hadn't been killed. Aunt Rosa's chessboard thinking saw herself inside her opponent. In other words, maybe Aunt Rosa was an isolated woman, unable to trust anyone and unable to let her guard down. Long ago, I think I heard a bit about it from my dad. Aunt Rosa was originally a very obedient child, but her age was too far separated from the other siblings. He often made conflicting demands of her during their confrontations. Thanks to this, she'd undergone a lot of psychologically harsh experiences in her youth. Often when she copied one of her siblings, another sibling would give her a hard time. True, Aunt Rosa said many things today that could be taken as abusive. But that means those words were once showered upon her, which is why they are engraved in her vocabulary. The many abusive words she'd spoken were also words that she'd been showered with in the past. And that makes it okay. Now that I think about it, I picked up traces of Uncle Kraus and Aunt Ava in her style of speech from time to time. I assumed they were similar because they were siblings, but maybe it's more than that. For the first time, I truly sympathized with Aunt Rosa, who I'd once thought was warm and gentle all the time. Then what about Maria? Maria's been making a certain claim for a while now. We can solve the riddle the witch displayed to us, the ceremony will be halted, and will definitely be saved. And I think she also said that Beatrice will never break a promise. But this is Maria we're talking about. She herself never breaks promises, and she has the most innocent heart. So she believes Beatrice won't break her promises. She's able to believe that. But isn't that just an image of Beatrice in Maria's mind? There's no proof the real Beatrice always keeps her promises, right? Hey, say it in red! Oh, thank you.
I keep my promises. If you solve the riddle of the epitaph, you should be able to reach the Golden Land. When you do, the ceremony will end.
Wait, don't they reach the Golden Land when they die?
Yeah, seems like it. No more people will die.
Oh. You're saying a complete monster like you followed... Whoops, I forgot my meta voice. So you're saying a complete monster like you follows the rules?
I won't deny that I am brutal and unjust and a monster. However, I am a witch. I use magic. In order to use magic, there are some rules that must be followed. Because I am a witch, I cannot neglect those. You should believe at least that much.
So even after all this crazy stuff you've done, you're still telling me to believe it at least in the rules?
I do play tricks. Of course, I also deceive people. I'm no different from humans in that regard. But not once have I disregarded a promise I've spoken. What about humans? Do you always keep your promises?
Since we have catchphrases like keep your promises, it's hard to imagine we always follow them properly.
From my perspective, humans are the truly selfish monsters.
Maria's just in the background staring at them, menacing them.
Watching them in the meta world. There's nothing as dubious as a human's promise. Even I sometimes make contracts with humans, but you wouldn't imagine how strict an agreement must be made just to grant a single foolish wish. If there's even a small loophole, they'll immediately say something like, increase the number of wishes to 100, or go turn yourself into a bean.
Oh, you like Fall Guys as well? I too am a fan of Fall Guys. There's this thing Dad always says. Wait, are we still in meta?
I think so.
He said, well, the vignetting went away. He says there's nothing as scary as contracts. According to him, it's only natural people who sign without reading them thoroughly will get chewed to the bone. He's made a killing through vice.
Imagine it. When people are born, they know nothing of fraud. They get it from somewhere, and so they learn it. Yes, the crimes of the human world where people must press up against each other.
You don't have to actually press up. You can if you want, though.
I do.
Okay.
Let me see. I've heard that from a witch somewhere. Oh well. I'm not as heartless as you think, you see?
Don't forget I murdered your family.
And I gotta keep doing it.
Liar, liar, plants for hire. You killed so many people. And you did it in such horrible ways, too. How could you not be heartless? You say you keep your promises? Don't say stuff like that. I won't accept you. Ever. Believe my only way to resist you is never giving up on that.
I see. So you're saying
Don't forget about the part where last episode I was ready to give you a toe job. I've retracted that offer.
So you're saying this eternal torture will be the same for me. Perhaps. 1,000 years is a long time. Maybe a witch's true strength is decided not by their magical power, but by the strength of their endurance. Yes, I can accept how terrifying Lady Byrne is.
Sorry, I dozed off for the past couple chapters. What's going on?
Don't worry about it.
All right.
Don't even worry about it.
Okay. Can I charge my phone somewhere? Do you have like an outlet?
No.
Okay, I'm at like 97%, so I gotta charge it now. Damn you, babbling on and about this incomprehensible stuff, while Maria stares at us to the fourth wall. Let's quickly get back to this eternal torture. I'm prepared to stick around for 1,000 years or even 10,000 years.
Good, good. It looks like you've regained some of your will to fight. It would be boring otherwise. Come now, don't you often see it in competitive games? Sometimes one player intrudes on their opponent's territory, but the opponent is so weak that it's a bit of an anticlimax. So the first player loses on purpose to extend the game until the last round, during which they get serious and shower their opponent with blows, right?
Are you saying this has just been your neutral game so far? Oh wait, no, maybe I've been in disadvantage this entire time. You've got a mean punish game. Hold on. Yomi. Alright, that's it. That's all I got. Wait. Frame trapping. I don't get what that means and I don't need to.
It's the same as wine. If you don't let it age well, it won't sparkle. You're the same as that wine. I'll carefully make you age. I'll raise you to be the best alcohol to adorn my elegant time.
This is getting a bit weird.
Yeah, I'm turning you into wine and then drinking
Why do
you,
I
and
feel
I can
like-
do that because I'm a witch.
Why do I feel violated even though I still haven't given you a toe job yet?
So, don't give up after only this much. Keep on denying me. After all, as long as you don't accept me, I am nothing more than a fleeting illusion.
Are you done? You're taking a very long time in the meta part, Battler.
No matter how many times I see it, it's awful.
I truly sympathize. Shannon-san, please get the key. Even though she is dead, madam is a lady. I cannot touch her.
Of course. You're one of those. You're like Mike Pence.
Anyone want like a Snickers bar or something while I'm in there? Oh, I think I spotted a $100,000 bar. Anyone want this?
It's fine. It's still in the wrapper.
It's still? Oh, there's a baby Ruth. George, you gotta come take a look at this. Shannon nodded sharply, her expression filled with a sense of duty. George, Goda, and Shannon had broken a suitable window and were inside the chapel. Since they really hadn't wanted to break one, they'd searched for another way in just in case. But in the end, after proving once again there was nowhere they could slip in through, it only became more obvious this chapel was a mysterious closed room. Inside the chapel, time had stopped ever since the last time they'd left it. Even George wasn't able to approach that gruesome Halloween party again. It was only natural. Reminded him again of the sadness of losing both his parents at once. And Goda, thinking of the possibility that those corpses might have changed in some horrible way, now that half a day had passed, didn't want to let George get near them. Shannon followed Goda's instructions and approached the party table. Normally, Shannon might have resented having another dirty job forced on her, but now she could truly understand Goda's mental state. Even though Goda had prodigious skill, he'd gotten dragged into trouble, losing his job and ending up left out in the streets, before Natsuhi gave him a new life. Though it had been just a casual employment decision for Natsuhi, Goda must have thought it as a turning point in his fate. Those around Goda could see that he felt a special kind of loyalty to Natsuhi. So he probably didn't want to lose that feeling even after death. Even if there was a Baby Ruth bar at stake. Now that half a day had passed, the bodies of Natsuhi and the rest had changed completely. Small bugs sniffling out the smell of death had started to gather. Really wasn't something you'd want to look at directly.
Madam, excuse me.
Oh no, that's Shannon. Sorry.
Madam, excuse me.
Because of her long experience as a servant, Shannon had an idea of which pocket Natsuhi kept the key to her room in. It would probably be this pocket. Her guess didn't fail her. Just by touching the outside of the pocket, she was immediately able to feel it.
It's here. The key to Madam's room.
Last chance on those Reese's peanut butter cups. Ooh, this one's... I think I could feel it. Is it a wrapper of Spree? Do people still like that one? Shannon held the key up high, showing the others that it had been found. As George and Goda watched her, their eyes opened wide. That wasn't the expression Shannon was expecting, so it startled her.
Uh-oh. Time to get gouged.
For all, Shannon hadn't noticed. George and Goda, watching from afar, noticed it first. When Shannon had held the key up high, a blizzard of gold leaf seeped up from the ground around the table. There were countless gold butterflies. It was the first time George had seen them, so it might have looked like some kind of an illusion. But Goda already knew. He knew that those gold butterflies were far from beautiful, and they would bring about some kind of misfortune. And that gold swelled, trying to suck Shannon in. Shuck. Shucks.
Aw, shucks.
Aw, shucks.
Shannon-san, run!
Huh? Kia!
Shannon also realized the gold butterflies were trying to swallow her up. She ran unsteadily, her expression still shocked. As she did, the gold butterflies danced around her all at once. They grouped together. They tried to swallow her up.
Shannon! Damn it, what is this? Are these the gold butterflies you guys were talking about?
Hold on, I've got a solution. Pulls out a leaf blower. Bad Beato. Get back. Bad Beato.
Bug zapper.
Just a can of Raid. Who would win? Beato Golden Witch or a can of Raid?
Outside, quickly, you bastards! Damn it! I'm sorry I called you bastards!
George and Goda rushed up to Shannon, driving off the cloud of butterflies. And while the butterflies were scattered, they ran towards the broken window. However, they needed a good footing to get out of the window, which was surrounded by shards of broken glass. When they entered, there had been enough time to prepare for that, but now there was none. If only they could unlock the chapel from the inside and use the door.
But they don't have the key.
But it's from the inside. Can't you just, like, flip the lock?
Maybe.
Let's go through the door. There's no time to look for a footing.
Won't open.
Won't open.
Give it to me. Damn this piece of crap. Ah!
George-sama, quickly. Damn it. Wait, who's talking?
Damn it, don't take me lightly. Oh!
Who's talking?
And it's really hard to tell, isn't it? Goda took off his jacket, swinging it around and scattering the group of butterflies. But saying he was outnumbered would be a real understatement. It was doubtful that it even bought them a short amount of time. George struggled with the broken handle. Its age showed, and it didn't turn well. I can't leave it to strength. It needs the right angle, or there's some trick to it.
George-sama! Damn it! You monsters!
At that moment, Goda saw it. He was seen by it. In other words, their eyes met. On top of the party table, no, with the stained glass behind it, floating, laughing, the figure of the witch. He saw the figure of the laughing witch in the center of the golden whirlwind, the gold butterflies fluttering about at the ready.
Beatrice!
It should have been Goda's first meeting with her, but he knew her at a glance. Just like the other servants had said, it was certainly the witch of the portrait herself.
It's almost time for dinner, is it not? I am the host of this mansion now, so I must give you a warm reception before your wonderful dinner. And look, we even have 3 people fit to order. My, how truly, truly convenient.
Ah!
It's open. Goda-san, quickly. Beatrice-sama. Huh? What? Are you sure it's a good idea to just stand there? If you think this place will make a fitting cemetery for yourselves, then be my guests. I must praise your spirit for wanting to stay by your former master's sides and serve them even after death.
The golden whirlwind that wrapped around the witch burst. It was like an evil hand had literally spread its fingers and was trying to attack them.
Evil hand, what's it gonna do?
What's it gonna do? The cloud of gold butterflies attacked with a fluttering sound.
Hurry! We can't stay here!
George's voice brought Shannon and Goda back to their senses. Standing here now would make them look like frogs getting stared down by a snake. They had to resist. They had to fight this incarnation of the new, brutal, and frightening order in which Rokkenjima had been enveloped. There was no time to take out their umbrellas. The 3 of them dashed out into the pouring rain. The 3 of them never realized it because they didn't turn around. The gold butterflies apparently couldn't handle the rain too well, and this hampered their ability to chase after the humans. 3 people ran from their golden pursuers and flew into the mansion.
How nice, how nice. It wouldn't be as fun any other way.
This song is real good.
Yeah.
They unlocked the door and dashed into the room. A bit of the scent from Natsuhi's favorite gentle incense remained in there. However, there was no time to let that calm them now.
Where is it? You said it was in a treasure box, right?
It's just a story I heard. I never heard exactly where it was.
I think it'll probably be in her dresser or next to the bed.
Shannon's womanly sensibilities led her to conclude that. But next to the bed there was only an incense burner, a half-read novel, and glasses. However, the dresser was elegant and had many drawers. It would be understandable if she'd kept some of her valuables there.
Aunt Natsuhi, sorry.
He began to violently open each one of the drawers. He had to hurry. He couldn't actually hear footsteps, but he had the feeling the witch was approaching. He had the feeling her laugh was approaching. He emptied the drawers one by one and examined the contents. Every small box for makeup looked like a treasure box, and the amount of effort it would take to inspect all of them made him feel a little dizzy.
Maybe it's this box. It's locked and I can't open it.
At a glance, it looked slightly larger than a music box. When shaken, it rustled as though very small objects were inside. But it was locked and didn't open.
Normally, you'd hide the key somewhere nearby. Though some people would always carry it on their person. I don't know. There's no choice. Break it. But we can't do it with force, right? We might break the mirror inside. Could there be a tool to pry it open? Damn it.
Hold on, I've got a crowbar.
Goda looked all over the room, trying to see if there was some tool they could use. He noticed the door, which had been left open ever since they'd entered. He approached the door to close it, and saw the abominable shadows of people approaching from beyond the darkness in the hall. No, it wasn't shadows of people, because they weren't human at all.
George-sama, hurry!
Goda's voice trailed off. It was the shock of seeing a procession of those not of this world. He was a servant, so he knew all the servants working for the Ushiromiya family, but he didn't know about these. However, they were definitely servants, and not servants working for Ushiromiya Kinzo or Ushiromiya Kraus. Oh, dicks! These new servants, who worked for the new master of the mansion, the Golden Witch Beatrice, had goat heads, bright red boiled eyes of lava, and D-swords. As the new master laughed loudly and trimly directed 6 of the new servants, he saw them approach, piercing the darkness as they came. Of course, she was clad in the gold butterflies that were her symbol. Goda hurriedly closed the door and locked it. However, just as he locked it, it returned to normal, as though a spring or something had knocked it back.
The sound effect!
The sound effect!
Boing!
It gave the illusion that some prankster beyond the door was unlocking it every time he locked it. They couldn't have reached the other side of the door yet, so who was doing it and how? It almost felt like playing with a broken toy. Click boing, click boing.
Ah, it won't lock. Even if I lock it, it unlocks. What's going on? Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it!
Did you think a lock would stop me? Did you think the door to that room could hold back that room's new master?
It was like the witch could see Goda's frantic effort through the door. Even now, the footsteps continued to approach. And when not just their footsteps, but even their breath could be heard, Goda gave up on the lock and slammed into the door, using his own large body.
George-sama, quickly, quickly, quickly!
George-sama, what about this? A letter opener? That's better. Let me have it. Fountain pen isn't working.
George took it and once again dug it into the crack but underneath the lid of the treasure box. It looks like it's working.
Quickly, quickly! Ah!
The pressure from across the door grew even stronger. Goda screamed. This wasn't a roar cry during a test of strength. He was terrified. He was simply terrified that nothing but a single wooden door was stopping him from touching something not of this world. But he was still lucky that he wasn't touching the things directly. Because they weren't on the other side of the door. So if he were to touch them directly, Goda's cry would surely turn from something brave into a pathetic, piercing scream, and therefore one that was more real.
What's up?
Goda couldn't believe what was happening right before his eyes. Coming through the door, an arm was slipping straight through the wood like it was water, as though doing this was the most natural thing in the world. It rubbed the back of Goda's hand as he frantically tried to hold the door shut. It slid up his arm, to his chest, then up to his chin. By now, Goda's scream wasn't even audible anymore. He could hear a sweet whispering voice from across the door. It wasn't coming from the witch, but it sounded like a young woman. However, that didn't change the fact that it came from someone not of this world. So cute. Hey, you see it, right? Your light flashing before your eyes? Let me know when it's over, Kay. I don't want to cut it off too early. Oh, look, I'm wearing the gold wing, the family. That's kind of funny.
Ah!
Thanks. It's over already, isn't it? Yeah, it was pretty short. Whoa! That lewd arm burst. Then they heard the sound of something jumping around the room at an incredible speed. They didn't know what it was. Incredibly fast, small, like steel or maybe a beetle. When it buried itself right in the center of Goda's chest and stopped, he realized for the first time that its true form was something like a stake with a strange design on it. Goda's large body shook, bent backwards, and fell over. As it did, the door opened softly, even though no one was pushing it, welcoming in the new master of this room. It looked almost as though the door itself had accepted her.
Doors love me.
Oh yeah, well I got to see him live!
The goat attendants came in one after another, 6 of them. Then that witch came in and the gold butterflies came in. The room was wrapped in a blizzard of gold leaf, which fell and piled up, turning it more and more into a world of gold.
Shannon, the roulette has chosen you and George. Thank me for your day of release. Do you have any regrets? You don't, do you? Receiving an engagement ring from the man you fell for, and then being killed before spending your first night together? That hardly counts as a regret at all. Right? You wanted him to hold you, didn't you? You wanted him to teach you a woman's joy, right? No, Shannon, you're dribbling, see? Your regret is dripping down from your mouth. I can see it dribbling down from your mouth. Shannon!
Crack. It was the sound of the lid to the treasure box breaking open. When George turned it over, accessories, charms, various small objects that Natsuki had treasured when she was a girl fell out. Mixed in with that was a pouch that stood out from the rest. He picked it up and was immediately sure. This was it.
I found it. This is it. So close, and yet so far. Die.
Damn it!
Oh no, that's George.
Damn it!
All at once, the gold butterflies attacked George, who was hurriedly trying to remove the contents of the pouch. At that time, a bright red flash seemed to light up the room for an instant. The red flash seemed to cut a hole in the cloud of gold butterflies raging around the room, drawing a circle with Shannon at the center, so the resulting scene looked truly divine. Almost as though a single streak of light had cut through the clouds in this world of gold. George, who was curled in a ball, trying to protect himself from the group of butterflies, didn't have a clue what was going on. Then he noticed that Shannon was standing guard in front of him, shielding him. She glared at the witch and the rest with a serious face she'd never shown him before.
I'd forgotten. You're another sample of Kinzo's outstanding furniture.
Holy shit, Shannon has shield powers. That's great.
And you've matured much more than Canon. How could you do that to Canon-kun? I don't mean killing him. How could you erase his remains and even try to disgrace his honor? Come now, Shannon. Is that why you're mad? You mad, bro? You mad?
You mad?
If you're lonely because Canon hasn't been around, just let me know and I'll let you see him whenever you like.
When the witch snapped her fingers, one of the 6 goat attendants glittered gold, and changed into Canon. It was definitely a sight to make one doubt their eyes.
And his eyes.
It was definitely Canon's face. However, in those eyes, the glint of Canon's integrity was nowhere to be seen. They were the hazy eyes of furniture that only obeyed the orders of the witch. George couldn't understand the scene right before his eyes, and he finally understood why Goda and the rest had been unable to talk about what they'd seen in the servant room.
Are you enjoying this? Yes, I am. It's always fun to reunite a pair that have been torn apart by death. After all, I get to enjoy tearing them apart by death, reuniting them, and then tearing them apart again. And then tearing them apart literally? Or was that step 1? I've lost track. There's a lot of tearing going on here. It's one of my favorites. So, Canon, go and play with your sister. If she knocks you about, let her see you suffer with all the anguish you can manage.
Nope. All right, Michael.
Is it still recording?
Yeah, we're good.
Good.
From the imposter cannon's arm, a strangely shining curve extended. He planned to tear Shannon apart with that. With a single stroke, he would attack Shannon, who still hadn't prepared her heart. And...
I won't forgive you. I'll never forgive you for dishonoring the dead, not just once, but twice. Enough babbling. Go get killed by your brother, Shannon. I'm sure you'll bear witness to a wonderful dream.
Now, Cannon, use Sephiroth's down smash. The one that breaks shields real easily. That's the joke here. Nothing personnel, kid. The imposter cannon certainly seemed to lunge at Shannon, drawing several purple curves, but when he flew at her, it was as though some kind of invisible wall had been placed in front of her. The wall repelled the imposter, leaving a bright red ripple on its surface. No, it didn't repel him, it smashed him, knocked him back, turning him into golden dust, the little bits scattering him. That foolish furniture who had taken Cannon's form and even disgraced his honor after death, broke into countless gold butterflies. And then those butterflies themselves broke into pieces, and those pieces were broken into pieces, until they were no longer butterflies but a golden splash that faded away.
Shannon. George-san, please don't move from that spot. I don't want to shift the central axis.
Whoa! Have we ever seen Beato surprised like that?
I don't know.
That's...
Well, this is certainly a surprise. So, though your face makes it look as though you wouldn't hurt a fly, you can display such power? I see. So that spirit mirror... Spirit? Mirror? I'll get
Listen,
back to
we
you.
went over this already. It doesn't really work that well.
I'll get back to you
I
on
see
that.
what you're going for, but it doesn't work as well as you think it does.
Anyway, it's lending you strength. But you don't have the tools or the time to draw out its true power. I won't let you have either of those.
Oh, damn it. If only we had bum-rushed Natsuhi's room. We'll have to do that next go-round. The spirit mirror George gripped let out a divine glow, displaying a strength powerful enough not to submit to wicked forces. But that glow was no match for the witch's sinister nature.
This is why furniture can be frightening. I'm terrified of ottomans, and sofas, and end tables, and...
What about a duvet?
Oh, those are... Nope. Nope.
Love seat?
Oh.
What about... Hold on, I'm out of furniture. I think that's it. That's all the furniture. There is no more. Wait, no, I got it. The ultimate furniture. Sectionals.
Oh, my true weakness. The only power that can defeat me. That feeling, like unexpectedly stubbing your little toe on the corner of a cabinet. I fucking hate that. Yes, this is why furniture can be frightening. You furniture. 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 I am not furniture. And right now, you seem very pitiful to me.
Oh, I'm loving these. Nah. Yeah.
What?
Holy shit, Shannon. How the tables have turned.
What did this furniture, who hasn't lived even 100 years, just say to a 1,000-year-old witch? You're a very pitiful person. Of course, two people in love will have regrets when they're separated. but they'll feel none of the kind of regret you're hoping for. You dare to speak? Furniture? Have you forgotten the days when you were so desperate to be tied to George that you licked my shoes?
What? Shannon, wait, I knew that. Shannon, maybe you could give me some toe job tips. We can swap notes.
Living with love and crawling through the muck is what humans do. If you sneer and look down on them for that, then you're far inferior to them. Especially now, I pity you. How precious is it for a loving couple when they bring their love to fruition by sleeping together on their first night? It does have meaning, it definitely does, but it's completely different from what you're saying. It means something so sacred that one such as you has no right to speak of it wickedly. So, I no longer have any regrets. George-san and I have sworn our love to each other. As proof, I accepted his ring. With that, our eternal vows were completed. No matter how much you torture us with your wicked magic and your malice, you cannot disgrace eternity.
Huh. Damn! Damn, Shannon!
Don't speak in cheap ideals like some poet. Love is lust, totally meaningless unless you're sleeping together. Men are mere flies and maggots that get drawn to your female scent and crowd around you.
Hey, no, that's rude.
Am I wrong, though?
Well, I'll get back to you.
Do you still not understand that at your age?
I don't understand what the repeated letters are supposed to be implying about her tone.
She's just being mocking and
Yep.
drawing everything out and being ridiculous. She's hamming it up.
Got it.
You'll despair the very first time you witness the dark lust of that glasses man behind you. You'll be crushed, shocked, dumbfounded, stupefied. And it's all useless, Shannon. Yeah, that's enough talk out of you, you furniture. Who the hell do you think you are, talking like that? No matter how beautiful you try to make love sound, in the end it's a fraud, because love is filthy filth. Don't people become adults when they realize that? Die, you trash. Furniture scrap. I'll turn you into a filthy maggot. Then we'll see whether that glasses guy still loves you. I'll show you that this guy's only had his eyes on your flesh. Die, you piece of crap. Don't you tell me about love. Somebody's panties are in a twist.
Hey, Beto, do you need to take a break? Maybe hit the pause button for a little bit.
I am not tilted.
Hey, Beto. Are you upset?
I'm not upset.
The invisible column of light with Shannon at the center started to have bright red ripples drawn all over it at once. The wall did its best to withstand the unseeable malice that tried to corrode in on them from all directions.
What? Do you actually think you're resisting? You're insignificant, you're frail, just like your cheap ideals, just a frail pretense. You're just hiding what you don't want to see by covering it with a veil. Do you still not understand? That's why you're furniture, you furniture, CC. It's being erased, crack, etc.
I didn't do that, that did it on its own.
Yeah.
Yep. The golden windstorm that covered the room gradually began to shave the walls off the column that protected Shannon and George. The bright red ripples frantically drew a resisting pattern, but that just turned it to a red wall of despair that began to wrap the two of them up.
George-san, I'm sorry. It was too much for me, after all. Yeah, thank you. You fought for my sake. That alone makes me happy.
The round wall that had once protected them was assaulted and covered with a curve of bright red ripples that as it seemed to scream, and it began to suck the two of them up instead. Well, that's...
George-san, can I ask a favor?
Shannon grasped George's hand behind her. So George hugged her shoulders just as strongly.
What is it? In the end, please let me hear you say, I love you. Yeah. Sayo, I will forever... Ugh! Oh! Oh, my kidneys! Oh, my spleen! Oh!
Oof!
Of course, Beato cuts him off.
Yeah, Beato's kind of an asshole like that. Damn, shit's getting good, though. That's everyone they needed for the ceremony, right?
Yeah, I do think so. Are we right up against the ending of this arc?
Yeah, because now there's 4 left. It's Rosa, and Maria, and Battler, and Kinzo, presumably.
Or Genji. We don't know.
All right, Genji, yeah. That's right. Wait, are we still missing one then? Does there have to be one more death? All right, after doing some quick maths, we figured out they need to have 13 dead total, right?
They need 3 more kills.
They need 3 more kills. And currently, Shannon and George are not marked as dead.
And neither is Goda.
Neither is Goda. Presumably, those are going to be the 3.
Yeah.
Presumably. Which means Battler, Maria, Genji, and Kinzo and Rosa are the ones that make it to the end this time.
Yep. Because last time there were 4, but
5.
Last time there were 4, right? But it was Natsuhi's death was irrelevant to the ceremony.
Natsuhi made it to the end, but then chose to duel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, in terms of the epitaph, Natsuhi made it to the end.
Mm-hmm.
She just also then chose to go out in a blaze of glory, I guess. So we'll have to see, but presumably George and Goda and Shannon are the last ones here. Presumably. Anyway, after Genji finished his late meal, he went out to do the nighttime rounds inside the mansion. He'd eaten some reheated soup that Goda had made, along with some random leftovers from the refrigerator. Those were all things Goda had made himself, and they were, of course, delicious. He'd half-heartedly gone to ask Rose and the others what they would do for dinner, but he'd been yelled at by a voice telling him that in the canned food they had would be enough, and the door wasn't even opened for him. But ironically, the servant Genji was able to eat a more delicious meal. But why was it that Genji wasn't afraid to do the rounds all by himself, even though all those crimes had been committed, and many people had already met a brutal end? Judging by his appearance as he carried out his usual tasks without a trace of fear, so everything was normal, you might think all the horrible events that day had been no more than a dream or an illusion. Was he taking a philosophic view, or had he just accepted his fate? Genji must have considered it a virtue that, when the fate that awaited him was unavoidable, he carried out his duties systematically until the last moment. The depths of his heart would probably remain hidden for all eternity, unless he spoke of them himself. He had returned his master key to Rosa, so the places he could reach were extremely limited. All he could do was walk around the hallways, checking to make sure all the windows were closed. That probably made his rounds go a lot faster than usual. Ugh. Huh. If only my voice could be as low as it usually is. The sound of a reserved knock. Aunt Rosa, who had been falling into a doze, jumped and woke up, pointing a barrel of the gun at the door. She yelled.
Who is it?
I was napping on a sofa, and that voice also brought me back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Rosa-sama. Oh, Rosa-sama. Sorry, I sounded like Battler for a moment. Rosa-sama, it is I, Genji.
Do you have some business? Don't worry about opening the door. Tell us your business plan from there.
Yes, ma'am. In that case, forgive me for speaking in this fashion. I found Dr. Nanjo and Kumasawa's corpses. What did you say? Oh, wait, this... sorry. What you say?
I see. Very well. Let's go and check them.
Why do you want to? Oh, right.
Until I see the corpses, I won't believe anyone.
Yeah, it's okay, Battler. If you stay with me, it'll definitely be okay.
Maybe my face seemed to be darkened with anxiety. Maria grasped my hand with her small hand and spoke softly, with her large hand the size of a small hand, and spoke softly, trying to give me courage. God. That was only 365 days ago.
Yeah.
Large boulder the size of a small boulder. That was only January of 2020. Holy shit. Since it was Aunt Rosa's job to ready the gun and stand guard, it fell to me to remove the barricade of sofas. When I finished, I took a backwards glance at Aunt Rosa, who was pointing the barrel of the gun over my shoulder, and opened the door. Genji-san, where are their corpses? In the courtyard. I shall guide you.
Battler-kun, wait. Just in case, let's check the doors and windows of this row. Wait a second.
Aunt Rosa called me to a halt to prevent me from going on ahead, and began to carefully check the locks on each of the windows. Those locks had already been checked once. Felt kind of unpleasant, as though she suspected I might have secretly unlocked them when she wasn't looking. No, maybe Aunt Rosa was right to be this cautious. Though it was called a courtyard, it really wasn't a pretty place you could take a walk in, like the Rose Garden. On the contrary, since it was surrounded by the mansion on all sides, it made you feel a little uncomfortable, as though it was telling you that there would be no escape from this mansion, no matter where you tried to run. On the other hand, that meant that even though we could still hear the violent winds, the wind itself was blocked. Genji-san held out an umbrella, but Aunt Rosa ignored him. She was probably hinting that the gun took two hands, and it would be dangerous if she took the umbrella. We didn't need Genji-san pointing for us to notice. Right in the center of the courtyard, we could see where Dr. Nanjo and Kumasawa-san lay. Aunt Rosa entered the courtyard without even opening an umbrella. So Genji and I also entered the courtyard without opening one. Only Maria opened hers.
Yeah, but I don't understand why you do. You don't have to be wet. You're not winning any points for being wet here.
Maria, this... You know what?
Yeah, but it's the 7th and the 8th twilight.
I see. Certainly, just as Genji-san and the others said, there are horrible wounds on their necks. Wait, 7th and 8th twilights?
Yes.
Does that check out?
I don't know.
Does that check out? Hold on. Hold on.
7th and 8th. So the other three
So,
are the 4th through 6th.
okay, so they don't have to be done in order.
Maybe?
Unless...
We've already seen that the kill and the gouge have had the order swapped, so we'll
Yeah.
see.
Certainly just as Genji-san and the others said. There. Oh, that's probably Rosa.
I see. Certainly, just as Genji-san and the others said, there are horrible wounds on their necks. The cuts are quite sharp, almost as though they were sliced with a katana or something.
Those gaping wounds on their necks definitely made me want to avert my eyes. But after seeing that Halloween party in the chapel, even though they looked horrible, they were no longer enough to make me feel sick. More importantly, our gazes fell onto their legs, to Dr. Nanjo's knee, to Kumasawa-san's ankle. Driven into each of them was something like a knife or stake with demonic design. They must have been the same as the thing that had pierced Jessica's back.
What?
You ever get stabbed in the ankle so hard you die? Like that one Achilles dude. He knows what I'm talking about.
Absolutely. I used to be a hero of the Akaians, but then I took an arrow to the ankle. What is this? It's just like what happened to Jessica-chan. Is this supposed to be some kind of occult ceremony, I wonder?
Do not know. The last time I saw their bodies, there was nothing like these. Maybe it was done after they were carried out of the servant room. The one stuck into Dr. Nanjo's knee was still standing erect. The one that had been thrust into Kumasawa-san's ankle might have been a little shallower, come out and fallen over. So by looking at the one that had fallen over for the first time, I realized that it wasn't a knife, but something like a stake.
Like a T-bone.
Exactly. Its full length was
Sirloin.
probably about 30 centimeters. Jeez, that's huge. Probably something made out of bronze or iron or something of the sort. Even without touching it, I could tell it had some weight to it. It was composed of a grip and a cone-shaped part, and it was obviously made to be a piercing weapon. Maybe it was like a miniature version of those lances Western knights used on horseback. The spiral-shaped ditches in it made it also look like a small drill.
Spiral energy. Spiral energy.
You done? One more.
Drills the drill to pierce happens. Okay, I'm done.
Okay. However, the grip had an all-called design modeled off of a demon or something. So instead of a weapon used in war, it felt like something that would be used in a ceremony to offer up living sacrifices. There's no mistake. They're meant to be sacrifices.
The seventh Twilight, get the knee and kill. On the eighth Twilight, get the leg and kill.
Wait a sec. That means they left out the 4th, 5th, and 6th Twilights. Could it be? Of course. Why is Genji-san alone? If something like this happened, why are George Aniki, Goda-san, and Shannon-chan here? Why was Genji-san alone?
What's going on? Where did George-kun and the other two go?
They said they wanted to search for something in Madame Natsuhi's room. They left. They have not returned yet.
What did you say? You say that they left, but when was that?
2 or 3 hours ago, I believe.
No way. Why didn't you tell us something that... Wait. No, why didn't you think that was suspicious?
There must be at least one servant on standby at all times. My duty to wait for orders until they returned. Was Genji-san really this much of a robot? This is bad, it's really bad! Dr. Noja and Kumasama-san were killed like this, which means that 3 people have already been killed! We ran towards Aunt Natsuhi's room, with a touch of anxiety and just as much resignation. So they can be kind of... Their order can be kind of changed after the fact. When you die isn't as important as when you get stabbed.
Yeah.
Before we even saw the inside of Aunt Natsuhi's room, we were forced to resign ourselves to a certain fact. On that door was a bizarre scribble.
Oh,
No.
red cursor.
Filth? I wonder what the red cursor is meant to signify.
Yeah.
Anyway, the room wasn't in ordinary state. Without even opening the door, we could imagine what we'd find inside. On the face of the door, how should I say it? Handprints, done heavily with the same red paint as the magic circles from before, had banged on the door, scratched at it, dirtied it. Looked like the aftermath of a kindergartner playing in the mud. I didn't know what it could mean. The bright red paint that had been slathered on it was dripping down, and even though no one said it, made us think of blood.
Genji-san, please open it.
Aunt Rosa held her gun up high and ordered Genji-san to open the door. Genji-san approached it without seeming particularly troubled by that stuff on it and turned the knob, but immediately turned around, shaking his head. It was locked. At that moment, there was only one person in this mansion who could lock and unlock doors at will. Aunt Rosa. Oh, shit.
Well, I love every time something happens, it's another locked room mystery. And Beato is just in the corner ROFLing about these delightful closed rooms, and everybody's like...
None of these have actually been locked room mysteries. Like she's definitely going to lengths to make them seem like that, but I mean, they're done with magic.
True.
And the doors, like, the door's locked. In a true locked room mystery, no one gets in, no one leaves. You know where all the stuff... I guess the island itself is the locked room. Kind of like in Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. I get it. This time, Genji-san asked Aunt Rosa to unlock the door instead of the other way around. Frowning slightly for a second, Aunt Rosa handed me a master key and told me to open the door.
Battler-kun, would you open it for me with this?
Just trusting Genji-san with something like that wouldn't... Aunt Rosa glared at me intensely. Getting into a fight here would only make the mood even more sour. Because now it seems like only Aunt Rosa could have done it. Even though we had our eyes on her for the... We did fall asleep.
Yeah.
We fell asleep. Without talking back anymore, I approached that creepy door and tried the knob. Didn't open. Won't open. Won't open. Come get your real cursed doors. It was definitely the resistance of the lock. I stuck the master key into the keyhole. Clunk. There was a slight resistance. Aunt Rosa told me to be on my guard, and I opened the door without really guarding myself in any way. And then, there was a scene laid out before us that didn't betray my expectations at all.
Oh, horrible.
Ew, 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 ew.
As I thought, it's a reproduction of the 4th, 5th, and 6th Twilights.
Ew, ew. That's all I'm contributing.
Just inside the room looked as though a robber had The inside of the room... Son of a bitch. The inside of the room looked as though a robber had just broken in. Drawers had been flung open and pulled out, and their contents thrown all over the place. Leaving the room so cluttered you'd never believe it belonged to the methodical Aunt Natsuhi. The very first thing that caught our eyes was Goto-san's corpse lying face down right in front of the door. Right in the center of his chest, almost as though it had been stuck there to finish off a vampire, was one of those demon stakes from before. Exactly how far could it have reached after being stuck that deeply into his chest? Just imagining it would make anyone's chest hurt. Is gouging the chest the 5th Twilight?
Ew, ew.
Maria grabbed my hand. Her expression looked just like normal, but maybe she really was afraid of the aura in this room where the 3 corpses lay. And along the wall, farthest into the room, George Aniki lay dead. This time, one of those stakes had been rammed right into the center of his stomach. Isn't gouging the stomach the 6th Twilight? Shannon-chan's corpse was face down in front of the dresser, lying in a sea of blood. Had she sewn her own face at the end, in that horribly broken mirror stained with blood? Because she was lying that way, I couldn't see her face, but I could guess without seeing it. Nearby in the sea of blood she lay, and a demon stake had fallen. Only the 4th Twilight was left. Gouge the head and kill. Maybe our heart was totally worn out and dead. Though I knew it was wrong, I lifted her head and checked. And I confirmed that my guess had been right on the mark. So just me, or the stake's doing a very poor job of actually staying where they get stabbed into. There was a gaping hole in Shannon-chan's head, and the insides were dripping out. Not only that, but you could even see inside her. Seeing that, I finally realized I was doing something wrong. I immediately averted my eyes, but by now it was probably pointless.
Hey, Battler-kun, you mustn't touch anything until the police come. What do you think you're doing, touching it? What will you do if our precious evidence on the scene gets disturbed?
Aunt Rosa got violently mad at me and even tugged at the back of my collar. I tottered limply and fell on my butt, gazing dimly up at the ceiling. Maria.
Ew, ew.
With this, even the 8th Twilight is over. What was the 9th Twilight again?
In the 9th Twilight, the witch shall revive and none shall be left alive.
I see. For this, the Golden Witch Beatrice will be revived. What then? The final 10th Twilight?
On the 20th Twilight, at Jenny then you shall attain the power of the Golden Lance Brothers, once and for the last time. Very soon the doors of the Golden Land will be open. Very soon. Don't even worry about it. It'll be good.
The witch shall be revived and none shall be left alive, huh? We're gonna die now? Or does this mean the ceremony of sacrifices is over? And that now, at Journey's End, we'll reach the Golden Land?
It's unclear.
Either, both?
What is our journey? We spent the whole day trying to find the culprits, spinning our heads as we tried to break out of this situation, and we haven't gotten anywhere. It's like they say thinking stupid is no better than sleeping. That's right, we spent the whole day burning ourselves up with hatred and paranoia. We're so sure we could only trust the dead that we came all the way here just to confirm 3 deaths with our own eyes. We're like this, why? Should we be able to make it to the Golden Land? That's right, we couldn't resolve any of our problems anyway. It would have been so much better if we'd locked ourselves up the whole time without thinking at all. Grandfather's the wisest of us. He's been shut up in his room since yesterday without any contact with anyone. That was the right decision. Grandfather was the most correct of us all.
It's okay, Battler. If you're with me, you'll be okay. The witch is very fickle, and she's a terrifying being who might kill humans partly for fun sometimes. However, if you're with me, you'll be okay. So don't be afraid.
Thank you. Even if you're just saying it to console me, I'm glad. After Aunt Rosa finished investigating their corpses, she announced that she'd seal this room again, chased the rest of us out, stole back the master key she lent me, and locked the door again. Apparently, George Aniki had been holding the key to Aunt Natsuhi's room. She also collected that. Right, never mind. He had the key to... Got it. Wait a sec. She's got all the master keys on her person. Natsuhi's own key was locked up inside this room. Doesn't that make it another closed room? So what's the 4th closed room? And she's the only one that could have done it. She's got all the keys. Now that the suspicion surrounding those 3 had been cleared, we Return to the parlor once more. I don't have a clue what's going on anymore. Only the dead are innocent and everyone alive is a wolf. That leaves only me, Aunt Rosa, Maria, and Genji-san. Besides us, there's only grandfather and that 19th person. The guest we've seen no trace of, Beatrice. 13 people have died and 6 are left. How would a wolves and sheep puzzle with only 6 people end? No puzzle that started with 19 people has been reduced to 6. Can't think of an answer. I can, however, think of taking a sip of coffee. That was some damn good coffee. We returned to the parlor. I was a bit worried that while we were gone, a creepy magic circle or something might have been drawn on the parlor door, but thankfully we didn't find anything like that.
Thank you, Genji-san. This is far enough. Please rest for the day.
Certainly. Then please excuse me. Hey, Aunt Rosa. You saying you'll leave Genji-san all alone in a situation like this?
That's right. I do think it's quite dangerous. But in that case, why is he safe? After those 3 headed to Natsuhine-san's room, he was alone the whole time.
God, I hate you, Rosa.
And yet he's safe.
Oh my god. If you weren't guilty, you wouldn't be alive. She must be the worst to play Among Us with.
Immediately airlocks everybody. Space them all, let God sort it out. It's a wolves and sheep puzzle. Why would a sheep be safe if it was all alone, and therefore in its weakest possible position?
Probably because by coincidence there weren't any wolves around?
Wrong. It's because it wasn't a sheep.
Saying Genji-san is a wolf?
He said he was alone in the kitchen, but that's impossible to prove. The only ones who could have carried Dr. Nanjo and Kumasawa-san's corpses, who could have killed George and the rest, were him and Beatrice, right?
No? We can suspect you now. Wait, with that argument, anyone! Battler Selma, thank you for your concern. I believe trust is won not with 100 excuses, but with simple faithfulness. Even if I am not able to gain your trust, I wish to be faithful until the end. Genji-san.
Then we're decided. If you truly are innocent, the police will prove that for us when they come tomorrow. So until then, we cannot remove you from suspicion. After your long years of service,
Oh, shut the
I find
fuck
it
up!
truly painful to treat you so poorly.
Shut the fuck up, Natsuhi.
Who?
Sorry, I called her Nazi. Shut the fuck up, Rosa.
But please understand about tonight. And when tomorrow comes, please let us make up again. I'm going to use this line again, and it will be just as sincere as last time, which is not at all.
Genji-san gave his head a small shake. Today and tomorrow, I will continue to be a servant of the Ushiromiya family. If you need anything, please say so at any time. And if you will excuse me. I gotta vanish into thin air real quick. Bet you didn't know I could do that. After hearing all that, there was nothing left to say. Genji-san bowed deeply and left down the hall. Then we entered the room. Even though Aunt Rosa still held all the master keys herself, she thoroughly checked the inside of the parlor again. She opened all the curtains, checked again to make sure the windows were locked. So I watched. How should I say it? Felt like it didn't really matter anymore. If I said anything careless, it would turn into another fight. For a while, I gazed at her from the corridor. I figured I'd waited just about long enough. I entered the parlor behind her. She doesn't trust anyone but the dead. Why doesn't she just go around killing everyone with the gun she's got in her hand? And then in the end she'll realize that she herself is the wolf. Then she can just blast through the head of the final wolf and close the curtain on this insane murder drama. I thought that bitterly. I returned to the sofa where I'd been encamped before, rudely resting both of my feet on the table. I tried to do that. I found something there and stopped moving my feet. What is this? Right there, almost as though it had been addressed to me, was a Western envelope. They want me to join Smash Bros? Okay, just think about it though. Like, if that was to happen, they have a perfect setup.
Yeah, they would.
Yeah. It was that envelope from before with the seal of the one-winged eagle, and it was unopened. Wait. What is this? Who put it in a place like this and when? Until I went with everyone to check the corpses, I was sitting here the whole time. There wasn't anything there then. And when I returned, it was here. This is Rosa.
It's okay. Everything's still locked up securely. This room is safe, and also another locked room mystery.
I heard Rosa muttering that. Wait. We made sure this room was safe when we left it. We checked that the windows were all perfectly locked. Then we locked it up, came back, and the windows were still locked. Then wait, who put this letter here and how? I opened the letter. 2 pieces of stationery came out. First page had a magic circle drawn in it with something like blood. If I asked Maria, she'd probably know what it meant.
Oh, that one? That's the Triforce. You don't know the Triforce? Really? Rather, how do you not know the Triforce?
And there was writing on the other page.
Have you made progress in solving the epitaph? In just a short while, your time will be up in a flash. The 9th twilight will begin quite soon.
There was no mistake. It was a letter from Beatrice.
Ew. Rattler, what is that?
I came here just now. I was sitting right here.
What happened, Maria?
Oh, she's gonna chase Battler out now.
Huh? Battler-kun, that letter.
Wait, I was sitting right here. Why? Even though we checked to make sure this room was locked. Why? Why?
Maria, come here.
Ha 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 ha! Absolutely. Aunt Rosa closed her eyes just a little, and after thinking silently for a moment, told Maria to come. Maria obeyed her mother's words. As she did, something unbelievable happened. Aunt Rosa pointed the barrel of that gun at me.
Battler-kun, I've concluded that you are a wolf.
Why?
When I came into the room just now, I saw that there was nothing at all on the table. And I know that Maria did not approach that table. We're talking about a short stretch of time. But the only one who claims to have approached the table and found the letter is you.
How can you... Wait, that's all screwed up. Why would I put something like this here? Wait, I just found something suspicious and reported it, right? Why are you suspecting me?
Because only you could have set that letter there.
Come on, I've got medbay. I can confirm it. Come on.
That's right. This is all a charade. You pulled an envelope from your pocket and then acted as though you just found it. To create the illusion that the witch entered a closed room, set down a letter, and left.
Are you thinking like that again? You gonna suspect me because of something like that? Cut it out! My dad and everyone else were killed. Why would I take part in the culprit's scheme?
True. Even if you were offered a large sum of money, I don't want to believe in the existence of the sort of demon who could sell out their own parents. Then again, maybe such a demon does exist. No, that's a bad way to say it. What if you didn't view Rudolph Nissan and Kyrie-san as your parents?
What? Think about what you're saying. Dad is dad, right? Of course I'm not related to Kyrie-san by blood, but she's like a big sister to me. No way in hell I'll let a comment like that slide, you bastard.
Stop it. It's the Maria alarm.
Stop saying ooh ooh. I'm sorry, that was a bad way to put it. True, Ushiromiya Battler-kun may be Rudolph Nissan's child. But are you really that Battler-kun?
What in the hell are you talking about? If I'm not Battler, who else do I look like?
All of us, including Rudolph Nissan, are seeing you for the first time in 6 years.
Holy that's... You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Holy shit.
No one can prove that you really are Ushiromiya Battler, right? Maybe you aren't Battler, but someone who's snuck in, making a skillful bid to steal the wealth of the Ushiromiya family. Can you clearly prove that you're Ushiromiya Battler? Right here? Right now?
Cut it out, damn it, I'm me! Ushiromiya Battler! If we're gonna suspect even things like that, are you really Ushiromiya Rosa? I'm myself and no one else. That's right, it's just you say you can't trust anyone but corpses and yourself. If you're gonna go that far, let me make an objection. George Aniki and the others were found dead and Aunt Natsuhi's room was locked. George Aniki had the key to that room, right? And by now, the only one with a master key is you, Aunt Rosa, right? Aren't you the only one who could have unlocked that room? My theory goes like this. You're in contact with the real culprit. And while I wasn't looking, you lent them one of the 5 master keys.
I didn't do something like that. See, there are 5 of them here, right?
As if that matters, you could have had them set in a prearranged spot and collected it, right? And weren't you the one who doubted whether there was really 5 master keys?
So, how do you suggest that someone other than yourself placed that letter there? Until you find proof someone else did it, you're a wolf.
Shut up! But why don't you show me some proof? How do you claim the culprit killed George Aniki and the rest in that closed room? How did they lock it?
That's exactly right. Natsuhi's room was exactly the same, just like usual.
Oh, is that how we're abbreviating it?
What?
We said we were going to try to find a way to abbreviate all of these particular clauses.
I see. The door and windows were locked from the inside. There were no frauds or tricks, no means of secret passage, nor places in which to hide. Natsuhi's own key was in George's pocket, and the inside of the room was sealed off. Only the 5 master keys were left, and Rosa was holding all of them.
Why does she put Rosa in... Why does she put Rosa in quotes?
And let me say this, the parlor is the same. The key to the parlor itself is sealed away in the servant room, so unlocking it without a master key is impossible. The definition of a closed room remains the same as always. Come on, now there's only one suspect. Or are you still playing innocent, Ushiromiya Battler?
It really was Rosa this time around.
Could be.
Shut up! Shut up, you shut up, Toe! I'm just calling you Toe now. Oh, you want the toe that bad?
You're the one who should shut up. How do you claim the letter was placed here by anyone other than you? Unless you can prove such a thing happened, you're a wolf.
We can suspect me, they could suspect you too, so try showing me some proof yourself. Anyway, weren't you the first person to enter this room and start checking the windows on Rosa? Then you guessed that I'd go back to where I'd been sitting and secretly put the letter there. It's possible for us to suspect that this is a trap of yours, right?
Why would I use a trap like that? If I was a wolf, I'd shoot you with this gun without question.
That proves nothing! Maybe you chose the roundabout way of setting a clever trap because you couldn't commit murder in front of Maria. All the master keys are in your hands. So what happened both in here and the last room was all your doing, right? If you think you could talk your way out of this, then let's hear your excuses. That's right, you've been suspicious from the start, Aunt Rosa. Why is it that even though 6 adults at the family conference were killed, you were the only exception? Why were you the only one not in that chapel? And only one reason. You invited Dad and the rest there to kill them. I mean, that explains everything, doesn't it? Don't fuck with me, don't fuck with you, stop saying things like that, don't fuck with me. This don't make sense.
Ew, ew. Stop it. You mustn't fight. Mama too, Battler too. Stop it. It's no one's fault. It's not Battler's and Mama's fault. The witch did all of this. But no one magic. It's no one's fault.
Maria thrust herself between Aunt Rosa and me as the blood started rising to our heads. I was taken aback by Maria's crying voice and returned to my senses.
Is Rosa gonna totally accidentally shoot her daughter?
Oof.
She's been hopping in front of this gun an awful lot this scene.
Yeah. I had acted shamefully just now. My eyes filled with tears. That's right. It's all the witch's fault, isn't it? All this about keys and tricks and alibis, all of it was stupid. Even though it's the work of the witch, we weren't even able to trust each other as humans. Right, Aunt Rosa? From the beginning, there wasn't a human culprit. It was all the work of a witch. So there's no way you're the culprit. There's no way Maria, or Genji-san, or I am either. Has it come to this? Why am I screaming at Aunt Rosa, who I love? Why am I having this fight with the kind of aunt I love so much? Why does everyone have to suspect each other? I'm not going to suspect my aunt. I'm not going to suspect anyone. It's all the work of the witch. It's all the work of Beatrice. It's all a crime that Beatrice committed with magic. Beatrice, please show yourself here. Confess to us that you did everything. I'm sorry already. I'm sorry we've been suspecting each other like this. So forgive us. Release us from this hell of suspecting each other until we see each other die. My kind relatives and cousins back. I hate it all. You definitely exist. It's your victory. Show yourself, Beatrice. Beatrice!
You rang? But no one answered.
But no one came. But the miracle didn't happen. No, it's Kinzo!
Am I still alive?
Apparently some time ago, Kinzo had fallen into a doze. He searched for his spectacles and looked at the clock. It was 10 p.m.
That person's ceremony. Let's see. How far has it progressed? It must have come quite far by this time.
Kinzo lifted his heavy body from the chair and approached the portrait of the witch that he gazed at every day. He just knocks on the door because he knows Beato is just kind of mauling right outside the door that she can't get through. Beato!
How far you got?
Hey, honey, how much more murdering you got? Huh? You want to tell me? No, that's cool. You don't have to tell me. It's fine.
Beatrice, very soon, I will have a chance to be reunited with your smile. You know, the creepy evil one. When you do the laugh and the murder, that's the smile. That's the one I'm looking for. I care not if I die. If I can just see your smile one more time, I will not regret this life. So, for heaven's sake, let me meet with you one more time. Then, let me swear my love to you. Let me apologize for my crimes. Ugh. But I won't let you escape. You are mine. From your hair to your toenails, to the dirt under your toenails, you are mine. Every fragment of your flesh is mine. Even the broth of your corpse is mine. I won't let you escape. This time, you won't slip from my hands. I'll make you mine for all eternity. I will never let you escape a second time. I will never let you escape a second time.
Kinzo howled in rage, then suddenly fell to his knees. She shook and scraped at the wall. In an instant, he had started sobbing.
That's wrong. I didn't want to say something like this. Beatrice, please, let me see you one more time. Even if you only let me apologize. Beatrice. You were beloved, yearned for. I was mistaken. If you would just smile, I wouldn't need anything else. Just smile more. I made a mistake. I made a mistake back then. I did something that cannot be taken back. In atonement, I offer all that remains of my life. In order to apologize to you, in order to atone for my crimes, I offered everything. Please, even if it must happen as I die, at least let me apologize just once. Beatrice. As
Kinzo shook and cried, a butterfly appeared out of nowhere behind his small back, like a flake of gold leaf, and softly descended.
You fool, Kinzo. Did you think any woman out there would fall for a man's tears? Well, even if it wouldn't make a human woman fall for you, it might do the trick for a woman who is not human. Kinzo, do you remember?
The 21st night of September!
That game of chess you played with me.
It's funny because it's the lyrics to a song.
Indeed.
A song that we all know.
Which is still ongoing?
Kinzo, as though he had suddenly remembered something, approached the chess set. It was as it had been during the game he played with Nanjo until yesterday. Knocking all the pieces off of the chessboard, he began to line them up again, one by one. Set up for an ongoing game.
That's right. Like this. I advanced my queen. That was quite a spectacular move. Perhaps it was a little too intense for you. I worried whether you'd abandon your piece or not, worried for so long.
Kinzo waited, with the opposite seat empty. Surely, very soon, his opponent would appear there, and he would be able to restart this game again.
You fool, Kinzo. You want to apologize? You want to see my face again? You want to make my smile an eternal thing? Why can't you say a much, much simpler word? Even though that is the sole element of this world.
Aww, she wants Kinzo to say he loves her. Aww. That time, Kinzo muttered. Was it a prayer? An entreaty? It was probably best just to call it muttering.
I love you, Beatrice.
They were pure words like something an innocent child would say, without any evil intent.
You really are a fool, Kinzo. If you ever have the chance to do your life over again, know that those words will never cause a woman to fall for you. That's right. Not unless a miracle happens. That's what makes this...
At that moment, Kinzo definitely heard a small knock, one with a tempo that differed from those of the servants.
Who is it?
The woman beyond the door didn't answer.
I'm asking who you are. Will you not answer?
The woman beyond the door didn't answer.
Could it be? Oh, could it be? Beatrice? Beatrice! Beatrice!
The woman beyond the door answered. On the ninth twilight the witch shall revive, and none shall be left alive.
Aww.
Oh, it's really sweet how she's murdering so many people.
Yeah.
Out of love for Kinzo. Not at all creepy. You all need to go to, like, couples therapy or something. There's gotta be something you could do. Like, you could do all this without the murder is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, but it'd be less fun.
Well, that sounds like a you problem. Anyway, join us next time on Two Queers Play Umineko When They Cry. M-question arcs. They promised me they would slip me a $50 bill if I did that for them. I expect to get paid any moment now. Any moment now.
Smash that like, comment and subscribe.